What's up, guys? What's up? Happy Friday. I got Ellis with me today. It is a beautiful day in Lexington, Kentucky. How you doing, Ellis?
I'm doing great. I can't believe it's going to be 80. It's just like, yes, spring is here, and then it's going to go way south, but not down to freezing, thank goodness.
I feel like that's Kentucky. One day you're out in a winter cap,
Yeah.
the other you're in a tank top. I got a tank top under this, so I'm ready to take off, go out, 80 degrees, enjoy the day.
I got my Keeneland sweatshirt on and a t-shirt, which I'm going to rip the sweatshirt off anytime now and get to the t-shirt next time I go outside. It's one of those days. I lived in Southern California for a couple decades, and it always was a joke that just wait 15 minutes, weather will change. And I thought, well, Kentucky's landlocked. It wouldn't be an issue, but it is the same way.
It is. It's so crazy, but I mean, it's gorgeous today. We went through rain yesterday, and I think we're going to get rain tomorrow. But we're going to enjoy the weather while we're at it. Maybe go outside, me or Twin, have a beer, what you're supposed to do on Fridays. But we're focused on Saturday racing at Keeneland. We're going through race 8, 9, and 10. And then Ellis has got one and another race that he's going to throw in the end for you. But yeah, we're going to talk just like last week. We're going to talk about stable duel picks and then give you some fun bets that you can use in your Keeneland Select app. If you have not bet ever, now is the time, because Ellis is going to give you some fun plays to put in your Keeneland Select app. And if you are a stable duel player, we have a promo for you. So you bet $10 with a new account in the Keeneland Select app, and you put in your offer code at the account sign up. So make sure you put it in there when you're signing up for your account. It'll say offer code. You do SD 2021, and they will match a $10 bet that you play over the weekend. And they usually do that on Monday, because I've gotten some messages like, don't worry, they're awesome. They'll email you on Monday and put $10 in your account if you follow all those instructions. But you got to be a stable player.
It's a start of the weekend, start of the week gift.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, free money, and you could win twice on one free bet, right? But anyways, all right, Keeneland Select app. We'll do that plug a couple times if you guys are tuning in, because I know people are in and out on social media at all times. But let's start with race 8. It's the Giants Causeway, $100,000, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This is a girls race, fillies and mares. I'm going to let you kick it off. Race 8, Ellis. Who do you have in your stable here?
Well, for my stable and both for betting, there's 2 horses I think stick out. And yes, the weather handicappers are calling for rain, but I hope the amount's going down, and they will probably try and keep this one on the grass. There's 3 races scheduled. The other one is race 10, the Jenny Wiley Grade 1. That will be on the grass unless it's horribly wet and unsafe. The allowance race earlier won't be. So this one being a stakes, they'd like to keep it on because they know there will be scratches if in case it does come off. The 2 horses are a bit of both, the 6 and the 1 Intimistic, and a bit of both I think is the good value. $3,000. He's rated as low risk on the Stable Duel app, which is really important. And the reason he's rated low risk is because he's 10 for 18 in his lifetime. When we see that screen, you're going to see that. And he's won 3 of his last 5. I mean, you're looking for Stable Duel. His horse is there, and he's just 10 wins, as you can see, in 18 races. He's really a pro. I should say. Forgive me. We knew this is fillies and mares.
I do it really all the time. Good. All the time.
Yeah. And she runs in dirt races that come off the grass. Folks won't know this unless you look at a program. But for example, she won a stake at Gulfstream Park in Florida that was taken off the grass last time out. So she's in top form. She's also making her 3rd off a layoff. And I think last week we talked about it as well. Horses' progression physically through their careers and as they come back. And she's got a tremendous workout, the best of 104 for a half mile 7 days ago at Keeneland. So she's a great horse for the Stable Duel, and 8-1 morning line. She's a great horse to use and bet on Keeneland Select.
$3,000 in your stable. Definitely a value pick. Tyler Gaffleone is on, leading rider of the meet last year. So not a bad pick. And then you said you like Intimistic as well.
Right. Well, certainly we're talking about salary, and I think she's consistent enough. You could take 2 horses in your stable here. She's been 1st or 2nd in 9 for 17. You see that on the screen. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd actually in 12 for 17. Not that many on the grass, but she runs really good on the grass. She won stakes like this in January. She's been 1st or 2nd in 4 of her last 5. So if you're looking to get points, you will definitely get them with Intimistic. And at 9,000, I think she's good as well. I'm certainly going to use both in my stable and bet on both in real money bets, by the way, and I want to give that out. The win bet should be on a bit of both. I think it's a great bet, and I'm playing it's called a part wheel. And this is where you take a couple horses to come in first and you add a couple more to come in second. It's a great way to spread. And my ticket is 1-6 over 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. And those horses are, number 2 is Good Spirits, who has been first or second in 2 of her last 3 races. LZ, who's going to be on the lead and could hang on for a piece, and Change of Control, who is 15-1, who is a great horse to get in second for the exact.
Yep, sounds good. So the other one that I'm going to throw in that you just mentioned was the 3LZ. So $9,000 is the one horse into Mystic. If you want one of those front runners that are still going to cost you a little bit, but you need to save that $1,500 in your stable for another horse, I think the 3LZ is a great horse to throw in the mix. This horse has won on kind of a give surface on turf. So good surface on turf. That means that there's a little more moisture in it. And some horses do not like moisture in the turf. That's why they'll scratch once there's rain. If this one runs, she should do well with a little give in that turf, because she's won at fairgrounds on good and she's gotten second on a good turf. So that's kind of my other one that I'm going to throw in there. LZ and Ellis had in the bet that he just showed as well. All right, well, let's move on to race 9. I'll read off the qualifications here. So this is a 1 mile and a 16th on the dirt. This is the Lexington Grade 3 Stakes, Stone Street Power Farm, if you don't know about it. And we're talking about the boys in this one. So let's start off. Who do you have in the Lexington?
All right, first I want to pop you with some trivia. What's Stone Street Farm most famous for? A filly.
Oh, I was gonna go wine. Okay, all right. So we're talking filly.
Wine too.
Rachel Alexandra, is that where we're going?
Girl power. That's right.
After
Rachel.
the wine, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, once they start doing tours again, you can actually meet Rachel sometimes. And I met her once, and she's just so sweet, making babies and just having fun now. But she was a Amazon on the track, and Stone Street, just fantastic. Yeah, this is a great, interesting race because this still offers the last race with points for the Derby. For those that don't know, the Derby system is how they get points like NASCAR. And there are races all the way back from September that horses earn first through fourth finishes. This one owns 20 for the winners. So you got to have some points on the board. It's going to take about 40 to be able to enter and be in the top 20, plus maybe 2 also eligibles for the Derby. And there's only one horse in this race, by the way, Hockey Dad, that has 20. Everybody else is probably not going to get there. However, this is an important race for all fans out there, not only playing Stable Duel and betting with Keeneland Select. Important because these horses can run back in about a month, either the Preakness or a race called the Peter Pan at Belmont, which is the prep race for the Belmont Stakes, which is about the 8th of June or 6th of June this year. So it's great. This is a race, Bree, and I think I mentioned this before we went on. I could not believe the value on this horse. Number 1, Noble Reflection. This is not like, okay, I spent all my salary, but $500, who am I going to go for? This is one of my top 4 or 5 horses I'm putting in my stable immediately, no matter what. It has to do with the fact the morning line maker made him 15-1. I don't get it. His second start of his career, his first start off a layoff from August to March, was a romping 4-length win. It was a sprint, but he's bred to go long. We call it routing, by Liam's Map out of a dam that's produced a horse named Cash Out, who made $340,000. And Noble Reflection, I think, is a great horse to bet with real money. I'm betting him to win or win in place, maybe some exactas as well, and absolutely spending $500 in Stable Duel. The other horse I'm using here is the 2 Swiftsure, who is 2 for 2 in his career. These are, again, lightly raced 3-year-olds who, if it was earlier in the year, you'd be thinking about Derby, but they're thinking about other things. There'll be a lot of stakes in the summer for this age of horse. And Swiftsure is 2 for 2. He won in November and January by 3 lengths each time. Another horse, no doubt, able to stretch out to 2 turns for the first time. He's by Uncle Mo, who's a really good sire. He's a little more expensive at $6,000. But I'll tell you, I'm not that enamored of the favorites in here from a betting perspective. Number 7 Proxy, who we hadn't talked about, who's run second, and fourth. I mean, the reason this horse is such a heavy favorite is he's run second, and fourth in Derby preps. But on the other hand, he's run second, and fourth. And I think there's value on Swiftsure, who's undefeated, and Noble Reflection here. Definitely, I'm going to bet them both to win. There's no question in my mind. And anything above 8-9-1, I'll bet Noble Reflection to win in place and mess around with some exotics. I'm really looking forward to this race, Bree.
Yeah, and I said this when we were off the live stream. There is a ton of value in this race, and I think those are hard to find in stakes races, especially lately. The powerhouse favorites come in. The powerhouse favorites, don't pay a lot of money and usually hit the board. But this particular race, there is a ton of value, and the best part about Stable Duel is you are locking in these prices before the races go off. So Noble Reflection, to the point of Ellis, will probably be bet down. So you're probably not going to get that horse at 15-1 live odds when you go to bet it. Okay. But hopefully, you guys don't tell all your friends so we can keep the odds there. But you're going to get that horse at $500 in your stable. So absolutely take the value. Yeah, same here. Like I looked at Proxy, he's running a grade 2, 2 grade 2s, grade 3, but 2 seconds, 1/4. The notes say that he was bumped literally every single time. So I'd be interested, is it him that's going, left and right? But this horse should come to do really well. But then again, you've got a lot of other horses that continue to put firsts and seconds.
And Proxy's got a ridiculous salary because of the 6-5 odds compared to his chance. He's not a standout. 6-5, just people know, suggests the horse has about a 45% chance to win. Ran the race 100 times. That might be true if it was 4 horses in the race, but in a big field, this horse maybe has a 30% chance to win. And it sounds like it's cutting it close, but it's not. There's a big difference between 30% chance to win and 45%.
Yeah, and it's going to take up almost 1/5 of your entire bankroll. So up to you if you want to spend the money, but there's definitely some more value in this race, as Ellis said. Now, did we already talk about bets that you're throwing on this one?
Just it's tough. I think this happens to also be my Keeneland Select Race of the Week. So if you go to just Google it or follow me on Twitter at UberCamper or Google Keeneland Select Ellis Starr. It's on the Keeneland website, but it is for Keeneland Select, and this does have some exotics on the ticket. I can't remember exactly. I think it was probably keying with the 1 and the 2 because I thought the 1 would be low odds, and I'm throwing in the 8 Ultimate Badger, who I think can come on from last to get second or third. Hockey Dad, the 6, and Proxy, the 7, 1 and the 5. Unbridled Honor. Those are my horses to come in second and third, and some exactas and trifectas, and that's on the Keeneland Select. No. And
if you're an absolute newbie on this one, download the Keeneland Select app, use the offer code SD2021 to get your match bet. Throw $5 across the board on the 1. I know a lot of people will say don't do across the board. Listen, if it's your first time betting, it's a fun bet. It'll cost you a total of $15. And I know that can be a lot, but again, you're going to get that $10 back in your account on Monday, and throw that on the 1 Noble Reflection, and hopefully those odds will stay high and that payout will be big.
Well, you made a great point, and I did this. I met with a group at the track yesterday. It was exciting to actually talk to people, and they were betting across the board. And I said, across the board's great, especially with a price horse.
Yeah,
if you get $6, $8, if you bet $2 across the board, it costs you $6. The horse comes in third, and you get $8. Yeah, it's not a great bet, but at least it covers your bet. What I always tell people is this: if it's a low odds horse and the show price is going to pay $3 or less, that's a bad bet. And the reason is really simple. If you bet $2 to show, and the first time you bet, you lose the bet. And if about every time you do cash the bet, it pays about $2.80 or $3, you have to win 2 or 3 times to get your initial $2 back. Mm-hmm. Once you get up to about $3, $4, $5, then if you lose a bet, you can make it back after another bet. It's not the best in the world, but for people that want to have fun, win, place, and show is a great bet. Just bet win and place only if the horse is probably 3-1 or less. Just cut off the show price.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said what the level is. So 3-1 or less, just do a win place. If it's higher than that, do across the board, win, place, show. And that's what you say at the window. You say, I'll take $5 across the board on number 6, or, go in your Keeneland Select app and you'll see win, place, show up there. Yep. All right, let's move on to the last race that we're going to cover. That is race 10. This is like a girls' day. I'm excited. This is a mimosas brunch girls' day. The Jenny Wiley grade 1, 1 1/16 on the turf. There are a lot of fillies and mares coming into this off of a longer layoff, which I think makes things very interesting. Chad Brown, 2 of his coming off a long layoff. There's some heavy prices here, but I think that there's some things that we can do. So Ellis, where are you at this one?
Well, this is a good race because there's one horse with a lot of value and one favorite who's legitimate, and the other 2 I would stay away from. So real quick, I want to talk about 2 horses at low odds, which means high bankroll, high salary. Tamahir and Etoile, those are both coming back from layoffs. They're trained by Chad Brand, who really does normally very well off layoffs, but there's nothing special about either of them. Etoile won a race at 1.25 miles last year. She's really known for running longer, and I think this is just a prep for longer, even though I'm not saying they're not trying. And Tamahir won a race in October in her first start in the U.S., but it wasn't that fast of a race. I'll start with the other horse first, Micheline, who I think is worth $9,000. That's number one. And Micheline is 5 for 13. She's got 3 big races in a row. And most importantly, she has experience at Keeneland. When you look at her now, you'll see she's 5 wins in 2 seconds, so more than 50%. And when you look back, you'll see that Keeneland race, which was in October, where she finished second. That was a grade 1 race like this. So Micheline is definitely worth it. Luis Saez rode her last time out at Tampa to a win off a layoff. So again, she should improve second off the layoff. The horse I'm really interested in, which I think is value again, almost as much as Double Reflection, is going to be number 5, Maxim Brady, who we put on the screen here. If you look at her record, 8 for 14 in her career, all of them were on grass. The last race before her layoff was a bad race, but when a horse runs bad and then takes time off, I think you could draw a line through that race, Bree, and I think that's the reason. Whatever led to the layoff didn't run well. Before that, 1, 2, 1. Actually, if you look further, she has 5 first and second place finishes in a row. She ran really, really well last June off a layoff since November, so she's almost the same here in November to April. She should run good. She's 10 to 1. She only cost $1,000, and she's speed ranked number 1.
I put that one down as a sleeper, and only sleeper because underrated, I think, compared to the other ones. I definitely would have Maxim Rate in the mix. $1,000 is all that it's costing you in your stable duel. And I mean, the numbers are there. The record is there. I think that she's going to do well. Let's bring up, is it Micheline? Is that how you say the number 1 horse? Okay, let's bring up that horse detail screen one more time, because I just want to point out, if anyone is looking at this for the first time, so if you are in the Stable Duel app and you click on your horse, this is the information that is given so that you can take a look. It's a unique way to look at a PP, which is called a past performance. So you'll see the starts, the first, the second, and the third. Medium risk, which is what you're paying for the horse and how many lengths we think that it's going to win or get beaten by. So, and then you'll go down and you'll see the last 5 races. So you see the date of the race to the left, what track, you'll see Keeneland on there, grade 1, and the distance, the surface, and then the finish. And that little number next to the finish is how many lengths that the horse either won by. So see the first, and it's got, I can't see with my old eyes. The 3/4 lengths is what she won by in that last time out, grade 2 at Tampa. And then you'll see in the Keeneland race, the grade 1, that she got beat by a 1/4 length. Is that what that says?
Yes. 3/4.
So when you're looking at these horses on the detail screen, like take a look at those lengths, especially the values. Like, are they getting beaten by a crap ton of lengths? If so, maybe you don't want to pick that horse, because if the horse doesn't perform that day, you're going to get negative points in your stable. So that's something to look at. And again, guys, if you have any questions on the horse detail screen, like hit me up on Twitter, hit Ellis up. But this is free in the Stable Duel app for you to look at horses. And I just wanted to go over that. So I'm actually really excited for this Saturday. I think Keeneland's got some, I mean, as always, they have some fantastic races, but I really like the mix of some of the horses, and that it's not a chalk fest, that you've got some outcomes that I think are going to be mind-blowing and exciting. And, it's going to be a good Saturday.
It's great. It's a great racing day, even with a little bit of rain. Doesn't matter. The worst day of weather at Keeneland is better than the best day. It's better than the best day a lot of other places.
It's true. All right. So number 2. So I don't have that race in front of me, so I'm just going to let you take this. But you've got one in number 2 that you had to tell people. So I want to hear about it.
I misplaced my PPs, but it was Zanesville in race 2, and he's $6,000. And he's been first or second in his last 7. Again, when you're looking to spend a little bit of money, a horse that's been that consistent that you're going to get the points for first or second, and you can see he won even when he was second or third, only beaten a couple lengths. So those will not, you get deduction for lengths beaten, but you get points for running third. So as long as it's not a lot, you're still going to get positive points. You always want positive points. And Zanesville is a horse that I'm going to add to my stable for Saturday, because he has been so consistent. That shows 5, but I can tell you he's been first or second in his last 7.
So now would you bet on this one on the side? Would you do a win place on this one?
He's 5-1 in the morning line. So again, that's the starting odds, and we all bet against each other. It might go down. I think anything above 3-1, Zanesville is a really good win bet.
Cool. All right. Well, you heard it here. Well, guys, hit us up on Twitter. We want to see what horses you are live on and who you are excited for. Ellis, when are you going out to Keeneland this week at all?
I am playing actually in the handicapping contest tomorrow. I won a seat last week, a satellite. So I will be there. I could play from home, but I actually like being at the track. So yeah. I will be there, but I'll be kind of incommunicado, hiding somewhere, watching the horses on the track and trying to turn my money into something more than the bankroll. It's a live betting contest. So it's
good. Yeah. Good luck. I know a few other people that are playing. So, give us some live updates for us that can't be there. And I'm excited to hear how it goes. And good luck to anyone that's listening and tuning in. You can start building your stables now. And we have a free game at Keeneland. You're welcome. We're hooking you up. If you have not been able to play or you've been too scared to play, I don't know why you're scared. This is an exciting thing to get involved in. But you have a free game at Keeneland, so you can try it out this weekend. But get in the game, select your 10 horses. Good luck, and let's have some fun. So thanks, Ellis, and good luck to you.
Good luck to everybody.
See you guys.